Shall we laugh? Shall we laugh? Can we laugh? Can we be present and laugh? And there was a quote from the tarot book about the difference between a comedy and a tragedy is that in a comedy, the people realize what the problem is so they can do something about it. And we live in a somewhat of, yeah, we live in a fantasy world. We live in a world of our own creation. We live somewhat in a world of make-believe. And we can also live in a world of observation. So we can possibly straighten up our collar, straighten up and fly right. We can possibly just, for ourselves, bring it down. Not the energies. The energies are fine. They're just stimulating energies. The rising tide of change is upon us, and we're all feeling it. And we're all dealing with it based on our heart or our mind or our gut. So if we're in fight or flight, which so many are right now, in fight or flight, and when we make decisions out of fight or flight, I can almost guarantee we'll make questionable decisions. When we make decisions from the heart, it doesn't mean we're making emotional decisions. When we make decisions from the heart, we make decisions that take everything into consideration with a loving perspective. And if we make decisions from our intuition, we may not understand those decisions we make on an intellectual basis, on a mental level. But sometimes we have this strong feeling, and it's not this fear-based feeling that the mind is just going like, do something, do something, do something, do something. Not that. But that feeling like I have a sense it would be useful for me to do this or this. So we may then do this or this and find out later why we had the intuition to do that. And that may be some unconscious messaging coming in to consciousness. With the rising tide of change occurring, with this vibration just going up on the planet, bringing everyone's stuff up, their mental stuff up, their emotional stuff up, their physical stuff up, and their spiritual stuff up. People's stuff is up, and in this country, with the elections coming up, and people having various thoughts about these elections, and people taking very polarized stances. If this person gets elected, then the world's going to go under. And then the other side is, if this person gets election, the world's going to go under. But both of the projections is that the world's going to go under. So, how do you win in that situation? That is all this mental perspective. This is all these stories being made up, being fed to you through televised programming. That's what it's called. And if you had even a glimmer of what can be done with hypnotic programming, you would learn to recognize it and to become more conscious and less trusting of that and more trusting of this, and this. Because the rest of it is a bunch of hooey. All the stories being made up. So we're bringing ourselves to center. We're bringing ourselves to balance. We're bringing ourselves to a grounded state so that we can observe what's going on and work with it from a place of love, compassion, and curiosity. Isn't this interesting? And what does my intuition suggest? What does my heart suggest? What does my mind, my observer mind, suggest that would be of the highest good for me to do or be at this time? It's truly a lovely thing for me to be able to spend this time with you. So we're going to set up a healing field for today. And today is the first day of November of 2024. And we have these 2 more months of 2024, and then we're in 2025. And the cleansing that we've been going through for the past 27 years and 7 months completes at the end of March of 2025. So we just have a few months to go, you know. A little less than 5 months. It's getting close. So I would ask you to state these words out loud as we work with the healing field for today. So I would ask that you state out loud, I connect with my deep self. I connect with my higher self. And feel it as it happens. I connect with my highest self. Notice the energies. Notice those 3 energies. In many ways, they're the same energy, but different locations and different frequencies. So the deep self has that frequency. The higher self has that frequency. And the highest self has that frequency. And the different frequencies depending on where you're putting your attention. So all you're doing right now is connecting with those frequencies. So you connect with the deep self, and you notice what you notice. You connect with the higher self. You notice what you notice. And you connect with the highest self, and you notice what you notice. And when I connect with the highest self, I really feel drawn upward into that consciousness of the highest self. So if you feel that, feel free to go into that consciousness of the highest self, into that consciousness of the higher self, into that consciousness of the deep self. And next I would state, I ground myself to the healing center of the earth. I open myself to the healing power of the One. And notice if that frequency doesn't seem quite similar or the same to the highest self. Frequency of the One. Do they seem the same? They do to me, and they don't have to for you, because you may have a different reality and experience than I do related to those. I choose to release and integrate anything not useful to me now. And I choose to work with the seventh dimensional beings, the Hathors. And as my friend says, the Hathors of love and light, who work with sound and frequencies to assist us to change. And if you choose to have their help, and I recommend it. They've been helping me for many, many years, so many years. I used to have it recorded when I started working with them, and I would write down what they would tell me and what I learned from it. And then I think that's lost on one of my computers that kind of went under. But I'm guessing, for 21 years or so. Seems about right. They're lovely beings of light. The Hathors of love and light. So, we have many, many beings. So when we ask that a healing field be set up for the world, there is a constant world healing field that runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's a number of us, 100 or so of us, who ground that disturbance continually. So that's what we've agreed to do. Some people, it gets too much and they drop out for a while, and then when they get it back together again, they come back in and they start working with it again. And that's fine, coming and going. But whenever you connect with the observational field, the observational world healing field, then you connect to that field and you help to release and integrate the disturbed energies of that are in that field. So what we've just done is we've set up a healing field for today within that larger field. So we set up the higher self field within the highest self field. Maybe that'll be a good way to imagine it. And we work with these energies through the deep self. So all of these, the world healing field for today, and the earth are all connected. You can feel that. And if you've made it this far, you've made it for, I don't know, I'd have to put my glasses on, but maybe 13, 14 minutes. Okay. I'm just going to grab a couple things. And I'm not going to talk much more. The field is set up. And, 14 minutes in. The field is set up. We ask to be placed in a field of protection while we do this work. And this field of protection will protect all souls who go back to this event to release and integrate the energy of the event for themselves, which will assist the energies we're working with on the earth right now by clearing this event. So I ask the higher self to take us through the portal of time to the event that would be of the highest good to release and integrate at this time. And I invite all souls that were affected by this event to return to the event, to release and integrate the energy of the event for themselves. And it can be a lot of souls. Even if there weren't that many souls at the event, their ancestors may have been affected by this event. so their ancestors can go back and release and integrate this disturbance for themselves, even though they weren't there, even though it was their ancestor. And a kitty crying, so I'm going to let the kitty in. We'll see if she behaves. Come on, kitty. I need you to behave. Come on. Come on. Kitty, kitty. You coming in? Okay, I've just got to finish this, so you hang in there. Okay, we'll see how she does. This is, there goes her tail. It's a very nice tail. Sometimes there's a question mark. There you go. She's doing the question mark. Okay, so we're just going to let her be right between us while we work with these energies. So, I invite all souls to return to the event, release and integrate the energies of the event for themselves. And upon arrival at the event, we ask the higher self to assist us to release and integrate all energies of the event gently and easily, fully and completely, on all levels and through all space and time. I think that's going to be it in terms of the healing field, and then you can just pause the tape, work with the energies. When you feel they've cleared, start the tape back up, and I'll do the closing remarks from the healing field. So, pause. Okay, welcome back. This is Steve, in case I didn't mention it earlier. So I ask all the souls that had returned to the event to combine with that part of their soul that had remained at the event and bring that combined soul back into their body in present time. My soul might have just gone into my cat. I'm not certain of that, but probably not. She's already got a part of my soul in her anyway, or I've got her soul in me. And I'll tell you, sometimes it's interesting. Okay, I would ask all those souls to ground themselves into the healing center of the earth and open up the portal for the delivery of the new energies into the earth at this time. And I ask that those new energies be brought in now. There they go. And I ask that they be activated. And I let the universe and beyond know that this has been done and that it's good. All right. Thank you. Now let's go.